we got bees. And we're gonna do something about it today. All right guys, we're back on the farm and we got bees, but we got someone to help us out. We got Adam over here from Be Kept. Be Kept, how you doing, Adam?
Nice to meet you, son. Here's my business card.
Oh,
I'll
cool.
give it to you later after
Yeah,
you
give it to me later.
Spacesuit.
So we cut down a tree.
Yeah?
A big tree over there. It fell down, bees went crazy everywhere.
Yeah?
And we saw the bees like up until last night.
Okay.
So I assume they're still there.
Yeah.
Someone thought they might have been killer bees. I have no idea. Is killer bees a thing around here?
Not really. They're mostly in the south. It's a little too cold up here for killer bees. So
Yeah.
they were here at one time, Africanized bees, but they're not here now.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about that. Now,
Okay.
they might be a little angry. Bees have PTSD, especially when they are in a tree and they get knocked down.
Yeah, we did that, yeah. Okay, let me go grab the rest of my stuff. What are you gonna put?
I'm gonna start like this and we'll see how hot the bees are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I want to put more stuff on.
All right, sounds good.
Should I tape these up?
No, I think you'll be all right. Usually bees, if they come out and they're aggressive, they're actually coming straight for your face pretty much, and you're protected already.
Got it.
I've got an over the hat veil that I can throw on if I think that they're hot. But generally they're coming after the smell of your carbon dioxide that you're exhaling.
Okay.
So
hold your breath. Got it.
yeah, hold your breath.
Got it. Let me grab my gloves. So how long you been doing this bee thing?
So I started in 2019. We moved to Tennessee in 2018, bought a little basket case farm, and honeybees were one of the things that we wanted to do right off the bat because we eat honey every day, and honey's not cheap.
Do you make your own honey?
Yes, sir.
And can I make my own honey?
Absolutely.
Is it a big deal to sell honey?
You know what? Local honey is a big deal. People are always looking for it. So if you've got local honey, it's easy to get rid of.
You think there's honey in here?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are we gonna be we eating honey for lunch today?
Yeah, we're gonna have a taste, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but we should be able to get into some honey. Let's see how wild these bees are.
There we go. Oh, they're right there.
Yeah, it is a mess, isn't it? Oh, and we got yellow jackets. Actually, there's bees in here. The yellow jackets actually eat the bees.
Yellow jackets. So what I'm seeing is yellow jackets?
These are yellow jackets, but there's honeybees inside of here. I can see the honeybees, and they're trying to keep the yellow jackets out. So here's a piece of honeycomb that broke off.
Holy cow, we're eating that tonight.
Yeah, it's got some, it's actually got probably some capped honey in there, and actually has some pollen in there, which the bees were collecting for their winter stores. But looks like you've got some serious yellow jackets on this farm.
So what we're seeing right there, like that right there, that's a yellow jacket.
Yeah, that right, those are yellow jackets, right? Those are not honeybees.
I think I spent my whole life thinking that those were bees.
I hear you. A lot of people make that mistake. I'm not a big fan of yellow jackets because they do eat honeybees. But yeah, we'll just kind of dig into this and just see what we've got. I saw honeybees over there. I kind of want to just see what's down here before we get into this. Too far?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's mostly yellow jackets in here that are just robbing out the honey. They're robbing out dead bees. It looks to me like the honeybees are in that other section, which is maybe good. The biggest thing is there's one queen for a colony, and one queen for the whole colony of honeybees. And if the queen dies, then the colony is basically doomed. But if she survived the fall, then they have an opportunity to survive. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking for today, is to see if we actually have a queen.
So we're gonna actually try to find the queen?
Possibly.
Oh, look at this, look at all this beehive over here.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of comb. Boy, it just exploded when it hit the ground, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are all old combs. The yellow jackets are cleaning up, but it looks like...
Is that honey right there? No, that's water.
Yeah, probably just water.
That's water.
In the honeycomb. It looks like... Well, if you didn't have your veil on, we could actually probably taste some honey right there, maybe, but we'll set this aside. See how it's capped right there?
Yeah.
That's most likely honey underneath there.
Okay.
And so at some point, we'll, once you get your veil off, we'll taste some honey later on.
How come these things are they mad? They're not mad?
No, these are just yellow jackets, and they're just here to clean this up and rob everything out that they can. So they're just hanging out. The honeybees are inside of here for sure. I can actually look down in there. You can look down in there and see There's bees actually hanging out down in there. And so there's a possibility that the queen survived. Yeah, you can see those honeybees hanging out in there. So those are honeybees right there.
Tons of honeybees.
That's the yellow jacket right there?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's a honeybee right there.
That's a honeybee?
That's a honeybee, yep.
Wait,
And
okay.
that's a yellow jacket right there.
Oh, so that's, hold on, where is it? That's a honeybee.
That's a honeybee, and that's a worker bee. It's a female. So this was probably the entrance, the main entrance, and there's probably a bunch of combs underneath there. So we'll kind of take a look and see what we can.
And that's those are honeybees too?
Yeah, look at that. They've got a. So this is called propolis or bee glue. They propolized this entrance, and that's all. They built all of that out of tree sap.
Really?
And you can see there's some here too.
So how deep you think it goes in there?
I think that this was right here.
Yeah.
So I think that the majority of the nest is actually in here. So this would be where the queen and the baby bees are, is in this area. So
Should we try to, do we want to roll it over and see what's in the bottom side of that?
that's what I'm thinking about doing. I want to be somewhat careful, but that's pretty much how we're gonna have to access it anyways. So I'll just gently roll this probably towards you. I think will be the easiest thing. And we're just gonna want to be somewhat careful with it as we roll it. Oh, it's pretty light. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, all right. Yeah, so these doggone yellow jackets are hanging out. What we'll do is let's stick, actually I think it'll lay down and sit just like this, just like this.
There we go.
That's perfect. Okay, now you can get a good look at the honeybees.
Whoa!
Comb in there. You can see all the propolis that they've done. All of this on this surface is all propolis here. So what we'll do, since they're very accessible, is
That
we'll
is the
take those
most bees I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I'll bring my truck over with some, I've got a box and some frames. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that comb out, we're gonna rubber band it into frames and then put it in the box and get all the bees into that box.
Okay.
And it's a loaner box, so I'll just leave it here with you and we'll see what happens. Do you need to work in this area?
Oh, we kind of do.
Yeah.
We can leave it close to here, like right there. Or we're gonna build something here.
Yeah. Soon,
So
right?
yeah, pretty soon. So the
what
bees might not like that.
we'll see. We'll talk about it. But another thing we could do is I could take them today to my place, overwinter them there, and then if they survive, if they have a queen, then I can bring them back and we can get you set up in the spring.
Oh, we're not gonna poke in there and try to find the queen?
We are definitely going to poke in there. We're going to remove all those bees today.
Oh, cool.
You know, for the bees for this time of year, honestly, they don't have much of a chance right now because we're going into winter. They basically lost their stores most likely, which would have been all of the honey that they collected in the spring. So there's a possibility that they can survive. I have honey at my place, so I would actually feed them honey for the next several weeks going into winter to try to get them to make it to next spring.
Now we talking like you just get some bear honey and just dump it all over them?
Not really. We set up like a feeder. It's funny, honeybees, if you've got a pool of honey, they'll actually drown in the honey. They get honey drunk basically and they drown in it.
So cool.
So what we do is we actually, I'll set up a feeder, I'll take a mason jar, put a metal lid on it, poke some tiny holes in it, and they'll actually suck the honey out with their straws, what they have. So they'll suck the honey out and then they'll put it in the cells and store it in the cells. And that's what they survive on over the winter. That's what they need to survive, so.
Okay, yeah, cool. What's the next step? You gonna go grab your...
Yeah, I'll go grab my truck real quick and grab the box and the frames, and then we'll work together and get the combs out and just start getting the bees out.
You think it's safe for me to let my my brother and his kids come look at these bees?
Yeah, 100%. They're super docile right now, and they're just trying to hold their heat in.
Okay.
They try to keep it 65 degrees minimum inside of their brood nest, which is where the queen and the baby bees are. And if they go below that, they actually go hypothermic and they die. So basically, they're holding their heat in there right now. They're very docile, and this is a great time that if anybody wants to come look at them. As you can see, I'm not wearing any protective equipment. The cameraman hasn't been stung yet. He's wearing all black.
Yeah, I got stung twice.
Huh? Well, when you first drop the tree, they're going to be pretty upset, but right now they're docile for sure.
I said you can come right up here. Look at all the bees inside here. You can come on that side if you want.
Did he find the queen?
We didn't look yet, but he's gonna get a thing and dig in there. That's a yellow jacket, they're bad, we hate them. That's a bee, he's good. We like him. How many bees do you think are in there?
Oh, let's see here. It's pretty small. I'd say there's maybe 5,000 bees in there.
So now would be a good time I could take my helmet, my hat thing off.
Yeah, you can. They'll be pretty docile. All right, you ready for this? So what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you hold the frame. I'm gonna put a couple rubber bands on it, stage a couple rubber bands. It's a little chilly today. Basically, you'll just hold the frame up, and I'm gonna pull that comb out right there and set it inside of here, and then we'll pull the rubber bands up to hold the comb in place. So the comb, yeah, it'll end up going in like this. I'll pull the rubber bands up, and we'll see what happens here. And all we're really hoping for is that the queen survived. Then we get her out with all this. Set this aside.
You'll know when you see the queen?
Yeah, she's significantly longer than the worker bees, her daughters. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. I'm not necessarily looking for the queen, but if I see her, I will let you all know. You can come up and take a look at her, and we'll, usually she's pretty shy, especially when you get her outside and out here in the natural light. She starts running from you. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is it's taller than my...
You have to go diagonal?
I could do that. Yeah, we could do that.
I'm gonna break this piece off up here.
Yes. Yeah, because that's pretty much trash up there. Let me pull this out of the way. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna put it right underneath your fingers, and just don't squeeze too hard so you don't assault any bees. And I'm just gonna carefully pull this up onto here so it holds it. And what the bees will do is they'll actually fill in everything around it with new comb. They'll actually fill all that in. I just got to make sure I don't pinch any bees when I do this. I'm trying to be careful, girls. I'm trying to be careful. Okay, I'm just gonna lay this down nice and easy. Okay, I think it's not going anywhere right now. So let's go ahead and put this, I'm gonna turn it like this. I'm just gonna set it right here in the box. And we'll head on to the next one. I'm gonna get rid of that yellow jacket. Okay, so the next one is in there a little deeper.
Is this a good or a bad time to let you know that I'm deathly allergic to bee stings?
I usually ask that question before we get started. Are you really?
No.
Okay. I usually ask if people are anaphylactic shock allergic. If you're, it's pretty normal for anybody that gets stung to have a little bit of a reaction, swelling, because it is venom. I actually just heard the other day that their venom is more potent than that of a king cobra.
Really?
Yeah, but it's in such a small amount that it's not enough to really hurt you. Okay, so since you have your veil off, I want you to touch that right there. See the glistening?
Oh yeah, with my tongue?
Yeah, with your tongue. I'm not gonna have you lick it off my finger, so you're gonna have to pull your glove. Oh yeah, you can just do it right off your glove if you want. You got a clean glove. Taste that. Kids, you wanna come over and have a taste?
That's some good honey.
So it's right here at the top. You can see it glistening right there. The bees are actually already trying to lick it and drink it. You can just stick your finger right there. Yeah, and taste it. That's the best honey you've ever had right there, I guarantee it. I'm wondering if I can go ahead and just
wedge it in there.
Yeah, stick it in this little spot we got right here.
Ooh, there's even more.
Make sure I don't violate any bees.
Have they stung you yet?
So we don't get any reactions. No, sir. They're very docile. Now, there's still some more in there that I'd like to get. Really what I'm looking for is honeycombs that have resources on them. So if it has, if it's salvageable comb that has honey and it has pollen on it that they can use, then I want to get that out. Okay. At this point, most of the combs actually kind of exploded out of the tree when it hit, and got, you know, they got pretty messed up. And so what I have in there is probably about all that we're going to be able to get out. Okay. But now I'm going to start pulling out honeybees. Like I said, as long as I don't really violate any bees, y'all will know real quick if I get stung.
Because you'll scream?
I'll scream and run away.
Will you really?
No, I won't. Doggone yellow jackets. If you find yellow jackets, I highly encourage the destruction of yellow jackets. That's the most unnatural thing that I do when it comes to pollinators and bees.
Do yellow jackets do anything good?
They are useful. They're really good at cleaning up carcasses, getting rid of roadkill and that sort of thing. They're pretty holed up in there. What I'm probably going to have to do is get my smoker going and smoke the bees and get them to start coming up so that I can get them by the handful and put them in here. Yeah, because they're down here in this hole. There's really not a lot of comb left that's salvageable. There's a little bit right there, but I don't want to stick my knife in there because I'll end up cutting a bee, and I don't want to do that.
All the bees. I think this is going pretty well. No one's got stung yet. The plan is we extract all the bees out of here and put them in that thing. He's going to take this to his house because we can't keep it here. He's going to take it to his house, feed them honey, and then by springtime next year, try to bring him back and see if we can make a beehive down here so we can make our own bees and honey. It's a pretty great plan.
Now, my kids were asking me earlier, why smoke? What does the smoke do?
So there's a lot of opinions out there on what it actually does. What I say it does is it triggers their fight or flight, and they think that the tree's on fire. And basically they start gorging themselves on honey, and it takes their focus off of me, the beekeeper, in the hive. The other thing it does is it covers my scent going in. And then the other thing it does, because they operate on their sense of smell, it actually disrupts the smell of the pheromone of the queen. She has her own unique smell, and they are very attracted to it. And as soon as you disrupt that, they kind of start climbing out, basically.
Okay. Can you tell if the queen's still in there yet?
By the way they're acting, it's actually pretty tough to tell right this moment. Once I get the majority of the bees in the box, they will kind of act like she's in there or not. I'll be able to tell. Okay. So how I'll be able to tell is that by that pheromone that she has, that smell, they'll actually start fanning, using their wings, they'll actually fan her pheromone into the air. And you'll see when I start to smoke, bees will start to fly around. But they're fanning her pheromone in the air to tell the other bees, our queen is in here. Okay. So it's kind of like a celebration almost. This right here can be the most frustrating part of beekeeping, is getting the smoker going and keeping it going.
So what you got in there?
I use cedar chips because it smells good, and then I also get these old coffee bags from the local roaster, and it works as a good little spark arrestor because you don't want sparks and you don't want hot smoke. You want cool smoke on bees. If I put hot smoke on it, they won't like it at all. So I got some smoke going there, you can see it.
You gonna put that smoke from the bottom?
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke it from that entrance because I really want to get them to move up. So you'll see right now as I start to smoke it, the bees will start to, they might start to fly around, they might start to get a little noisy. We'll see. I got some smoke going. Gotta find that entrance. It's right there. After the smoke clears a little bit, let me put a little bit right on them and see what happens. They'll usually actually get a little bit noisy as I do it.
Oh, they start buzzing?
Yeah, they'll just start, because it breaks that smell of the queen. They're moving around. They're starting to move around. See, if I can get that queen to, if she's in here, and I hope she is, if I can get her kind of agitated, she'll move up and all the bees will start moving up with her. Okay, hear them now?
Yeah.
You're getting a little more noisy?
Oh, they're getting noise over there too.
Yeah. All right, they're starting to get noisier. It's good. I want to get them to start moving up. That's my goal here. See how they're starting to fly around?
Yeah.
That's good. That's what I want.
I would have assumed that meant they were mad.
Yeah, that's what most people think. You hear buzzing bees and you think they're angry bees, but it's not the case. And the fanning is actually a really good sign. That means that the queen might very well be in here. Come on, girls. Let's go. The sun's coming out, which is good. I would love to see that queen.
Just climb out of there?
Yeah, I'd like to see her come up. It's usually pretty easy to spot her. All the bees around her will actually they'll actually point towards her. And a lot of times they'll clump up around her to protect her. So.
This is the closest I've ever been to this many bees without getting stung.
Well, it's not their intention to sting. They really only sting if they're really being threatened or if something bad is happening.
Like the tree getting fallen over?
Yeah, like the tree falling over, that's when they would definitely get stingy. See how they're starting to clump up a little bit right here?
Yeah.
It's possible. If I smash a bee, they definitely could react.
And then we run?
Yeah, and then we scream and run. These are called hive beetles right here. I like to call them honey pirates, and they hang out inside of the colony. Here's one right here on my knife blade, actually. All they do is eat honey, basically. They kind of coexist with the bees and hang out, but they're sort of a pest. All right, let's try smoking some more. See if we can get them coming up some more. They're definitely moving the way I want them to move. Ooh, here's a drone bee. Drone bee is a male bee. Oh, come on. Here he is flying around. Let's see if I can get him They actually don't have a stinger. And they have big eyes.
Male bees have no stinger?
They do not have a stinger. Yeah, so if I could grab it, I'd grab it right by the wing and I could put it in somebody's hand without it stinging anybody.
Could you eat this? Is this edible?
Yeah, but it doesn't really taste very good. Most people will render it for beeswax for making candles or lip balm, things like that.
Oh, like you would heat it up in a pot?
Yep. Yeah, you could heat it up and you'd get nice pure wax out of it.
Really? Let's save that. We'll make some wax for later. So when I was a kid, I was climbing a fence, and there was bees inside the fence, and they came and attacked me.
Really?
Yeah, why'd they do that?
And they were honeybees?
I don't know. They were, I was like 12.
Yeah, it sounds more like yellow jackets or wasps. Honeybees traditionally, or not even traditionally, honeybees naturally live in a void. And that's where they build their,
Is there one right there?
Yeah, there's one right there hanging out. It's just hanging out. That's where they normally, build their colony. So in a house, in a barn, in a void that's protected. Mm-hmm. So in a fence, unless there was some sort of a hollowed out space for them to be in, they normally wouldn't be in there. Yeah, you got a couple bees on there hanging out. They're just checking you out.
You ever go to one of those houses where like they open up the wall and it's just all bees?
Oh yeah.
You been to one of those?
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yep. Yeah, I keep trying to talk my wife into insulating our walls with honeybees
That's a good idea.
because they keep at 65 degrees all winter long, so it would actually be great. The only problem is if if you had honey go leaking out of the combs or anything like that, it would leak through the walls, and that wouldn't be good.
And then you would attract bears.
Yeah, then you'd have bears digging through your walls.
Yeah.
Well, they're not sure where they want to go.
How did new colonies start?
So new colonies start every spring. Bees naturally, they spend the winter, hanging out inside of their hive or tree. And then in the springtime, in March here in Middle Tennessee, the first blossoms start to blossom, like the silver maples and daffodils. And the forager bees, which are the ones that go out and get nectar and pollen, they smell it and they immediately start going out and bringing it back into the colony to replenish their stores. So at the same time, the queen recognizes that there's resources coming in, and she picks up on her egg laying, starts laying more eggs to create more forager bees to go get those resources. And pretty soon, in about April, May, you end up with a conflict basically inside of the hive where every single cell is filled with either nectar or pollen or eggs, capped brood baby bees. And at that point, the colony actually decides, we know what to do, we're going to multiply ourselves. So what they do is they take one of her eggs and they build a special cell called a queen cell off of that egg. They feed that egg royal jelly, or that larva, and at about 14 days, that virgin queen is going to come out. Before that happens, the colony actually stops feeding the queen. She never feeds herself her entire life. She always gets fed by nurse bees, but before the virgin queen hatches out, they chase the OG queen, is what I call her, around the hive. She cuts weight, and before the virgin queen hatches out, they force the OG queen out the front door of the hive, the entrance. All the flying bees go with her, which is about 20 to 25,000 bees on a big, huge, healthy colony, and they go to find a brand new home.
Oh, so the old queen finds a new home.
Yep. And the new queen, the virgin queen, she hatches out, she goes on her virgin mating flight, comes back, and she basically inherits the kingdom, so to speak. So that's where I teach other beekeepers that want to do what I do, to put up swarm traps on their properties and to trap those bees when they are swarming. You have an opportunity every single spring to trap feral bees right here on your property. So that's what I teach.
Got it.
And those are the best bees you can possibly get because they're locally adapted to your area.
How much honey could bees like these make?
So on a overwintered colony that has a queen and everything's good and it's a big healthy colony, they can actually produce about 75 to 100 pounds of honey in the springtime. So by basically June 15th to July 1st, you could go and pull out 75 to 100 pounds of honey.
100 pounds of honey?
Yeah, so that'd be about 33 quarts of honey. It's a lot of honey. So right now,
all at once, or you do it like every week? Every week you go out there and you keep on doing it?
I'd pretty much do it all at once, and I always leave the bees enough honey to survive all the way through the next winter, so I never take more than what I know that they need to survive. I want them to have the best food that they can possibly have, which is their own honey, and that's why I don't feed, is I leave them enough honey.
Right.
But when I've had an overwintered colony, so I'm right now at 17 colonies, and I came out of last winter with 7. So I've trapped or caught 10, but those 7, actually all those, if all 17 survive till next spring, the biggest ones will produce 75 to 100 pounds of honey per colony.
Holy cow, how much? So what do I got to do to make that much honey?
With these bees?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, this is a pretty small colony. It's not the right time of year. I don't have a ton of hope for these bees right now. We're gonna give them their best shot, but at this point, I'm not seeing a queen, and they're not acting like they have a queen unless she's on that comb. So we just we're gonna keep getting the bees out of here, and I'm hoping that they show us that they have a queen, but right now I'm not real sure. So all that to say, I'm not sure if you're gonna get any honey by next July 15th unless you get some from me.
Okay.
But between now and then, I'd really like to talk to you about getting you set up to trap your own free feral bees right here. And then in the June and July of 2027, you will be pulling 75 to 100 pounds of honey out of each hive that you have. The long game, exactly. It's kind of like having a vineyard and you plant grapes and you're not going to have a bottle of wine for 8 years or whatever it is. Right. It's not that long with honeybees, but it does take time.
Right, got it.
These bees right here are acting like they do not have a queen in there. See how they're fluttering their wings, but they're not really fanning? Mm-hmm. And then these bees are super, they seem very, very calm in there, which makes me think that if we have a queen right now, she is inside of here on this comb. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take this trap and I'm gonna put it right here and try not to smash any bees and make sure that it's not gonna fall down.
Oh, it's open right there, so they might come in there.
Yeah, exactly. So if they smell the queen in there, we're gonna get to see, I mean, basically right now is the time that they're gonna tell us whether or not we have a queen inside of here or not. If the bees start coming to this entrance and then they start fanning, that's gonna tell me that we've got a queen inside of here. And in the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and start closing this up so that they can hold their heat in here. I had one exactly like this last week. It was same scenario. And unfortunately,
handsome guy knocks down a giant tree.
Yeah, well, they knew the bees were in there because they started cutting down a tree that had to be cut down, and then somebody got stung.
Oh, watch out for that bee right there. You're squishing them. I saved them.
Good job.
Saved that bee.
See, and you probably saved me from getting stung. Yeah, they knew the bees were in there, but they had there was no getting around taking down the tree. And so they dropped the tree, and basically what happened is when it landed, the combs smashed together, and the queen had to have been inside of there somewhere, which is normal. And she got crushed, I'm sure of it, by the way that the bees acted. And so basically I have them in a box just like this, and I'm gonna combine them with another colony this next week. So this right here will at least hold this heat in. And then if the queen's in here, these bees will show us. And they'll show us by going in and fanning at the entrance. That bee right there is starting to fan a little bit.
When you say fanning, you mean like moving its tail like that?
Yes, exactly what that bee is doing right there. That is called fanning. Now, she could be fanning just the smell of the brood comb, because that brood comb actually has a smell to it that's inside of there already, and it does smell like the queen that they had. But if the queen is in there, the more bees that get in that entrance and start fanning, all of a sudden we'll see all those bees start to march towards that entrance, and they'll actually make like almost a bridge going up into that entrance.
So how long you been doing bee stuff?
I've been doing this since early 2019 is when I started.
And you knew nothing about bees at that point?
Nothing. I knew nothing. I learned from a lot of other people and learned from my experiences. And
how many times have you been stung?
At this point, I'd probably say 300 times maybe. It's kind of part of beekeeping.
It doesn't hurt you anymore?
It hurts every single time. It hurts every time. You don't necessarily get used to it, but you do get used to it. So I teach brand new beekeepers that it is very good to have protective equipment and gloves to start out with, and not cowboy up like me right off the bat. But that's because the first time that you're holding a frame, if you have a bee come out and sting you on the hand, your reflexes are gonna be to let go, and that's gonna be a bad day for the bees and you. But when you've been stung as many times as me, I just kind of expect it. And then anytime a honeybee stings, I always consider it my fault. It's something that I did. I assaulted a bee, that's why I got stung. So I don't take it personally. And
you've assaulted 300 bees.
Yeah.
This guy's a monster.
Yeah. There's a guy named Dr. Seeley, Thomas Seeley, that he studied bees in nature, and he basically gave us a real good cheat sheet on how to trap bees. They're easily duped. And so basically what we do is we put the traps up. If we can get them up to 15 feet up off the ground, that's the best. I'll use deer ladder stands or whatever I've got on my property, but you could literally set a swarm trap, you know, at this height. And if you bait it and you've got it ready to go in the springtime when the bees are swarming in the area, there's a really good chance that you'll trap those bees.
Bait it with what? Just like a really pretty bee?
No, we do use lemongrass essential oil, mimics the pheromone that the scout bees put off when they're actually scouting a trap. And then there's some other commercially made products called Swarm Commander and some different ones. And so basically you just kind of lure them to your swarm trap, and once they find it, they find that it's the right size void that they're looking for. It's a safe place. It smells like bees have been in there. A lot of times I'll take old comb like this and I'll put it inside of a frame, and that's very attractive to honeybees.
So you're saying this thing right here can make 75 gallons? Pounds?
75 pounds. So it would be bigger than this. A hive is bigger than the swarm trap. The swarm trap is really just a temporary home.
Got it. Once they get bigger, you put them in a hive.
Exactly. So I'll trap them in the swarm trap, leave them in there for about 10 days, and then I want to have their forever home ready to go at that location is what I normally do. And I'll bring them down from the trap, put them into their forever home, and boom, let them go. And then the next spring or summer, I will plan on pulling 75 to 100 pounds of honey from a strong colony. We might have that queen on that comb. See how they're starting to daisy chain? They're starting to fan right there.
They're kind of making a bridge up to the...
Yeah, that's exactly what they'll do, and they'll actually start a march up into there. Y'all want to get a little closer where you can see? I'm gonna keep smoking. But you can see they're starting to go in there and they're fanning right at the entrance, and then they're starting to congregate right there in front of it.
Should we put a little piece of wood?
Sure, make them a little bridge. There you go. That's a good sign.
That's all they were waiting for, was just...
I really want to get some more smoke going in here, but I don't want to be too counterproductive.
Oh, now they're getting wild.
Yeah, they'll get a little flustered. I need to get those bees to keep moving up. They're starting to go up in there and they're fanning. That's a really good sign. That is not like the bees that I messed around with last week. They never did that.
Did you make them a bridge?
I did not make them a bridge. To be honest with you, it's embarrassing to say it. I did not think of that. I'm gonna go over here real quick and investigate this just a little bit more. See what we got in here. It's possible. Let's get those yellow jackets out of the way. Oh, there's a bunch of comb in here.
Oh yeah, a lot of comb down here. Check it out.
Yeah, see what's on the underside of those. It's probably been robbed out already. Look at all those yellow jackets. Yeah, they're getting honey, probably. Or they're pulling dead baby bees out of there. Yeah, so this is all stuff I can bag it up, and I can actually put it inside of the swarm trap, and that'll be some resources that they can have. Look at that, that's all capped honey right there.
So now we're trying to dig into the other side. We messed with that side. Oh, there's a bee in my eye.
Yeah, it's just hanging out. It'd be all right.
Now we're trying to dig in the other side of the tree and see what it's possible the queen could be here. We think it might be in the trap now, but there still could be a lot of stuff in here. This whole thing could be honey, couldn't it? Is that possible?
They'll expand wherever they can.
So you can like melt, put all the stuff in a pot, it'll turn into like wax, and we can make candles with it and stuff?
Yeah, what you do, what we do is we'll go to get a pot that you don't really care about, because once you melt wax in it, you're probably gonna have wax in it forever. Oh, really? But you put a little bit of water in the bottom of it and just gently heat it, and then put the wax in, And once the wax turns to liquid, you let it cool, and the wax will end up floating to the top, and it'll turn yellow and be beautiful wax.
Oh, cool. All right, look what I found.
What'd you find?
This giant, look at this comb.
Oh,
look at all that honey in there.
Gosh.
Look at that.
Oh, that's all honey.
Wow.
Yeah, we can use that big time. Let me go grab some, I would stick it in there. It's just so, you know what? I think we will stick that in there.
Stick it in there.
Let's rubber band that into some frames. That's gonna be really good for the bees. That's all their stores. That's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can feel it. That's probably 4 pounds of honey, maybe.
Bet you're right.
Well, are you more comfortable around honeybees
Yes.
after your negative experience last week?
Yes. And now I know what a honeybee looks like.
That's right.
Funny, Gabe was like, those are killer bees, man.
Oh my gosh. What we'll try to do is clean this up just a little bit. The bees they're really good at cleaning things up, but anything we can do to help them. And the wax cappings are actually pretty tough over the top of the honey. Wow. This was a huge colony.
It was a big colony?
It was a big colony. They've had better days, but hopefully if we've got that queen in there,
Think this piece will fit in there too?
they've got good days ahead of them. Yeah, think we can get it in this one? You want to grab a rubber band? I'll hold it in here.
I don't have much dexterity with my thing.
That's okay. Then I'll let you hold it and I'll grab the rubber band. Yeah, that's a big old honeycomb right there. That honey right there is more than enough honey for these bees to survive the winter.
Awesome. We just saved these bees.
We're gonna get it right close to this other frame because they need that honey close to them. So I'm gonna open this up. Bees are already messing around with this, and I'm gonna pull this other one out and give us some working room. Let's pull this one right here. And then if you want to go ahead, oh, we can reset. I need those I should have put one more rubber band on it. Actually, I think that one rubber band broke. There we go. Okay, let me throw 1 or 2 more rubber bands on there so we make sure that doesn't happen again. It wants to kind of wedge that in there a little bit. I think it'll be all right. All right, let's do it just like that. Yeah, that'll be real good for the bees. All right, let me close this back up.
Let's see if I can find some more.
Try to hold their heat in there.
Oh man.
You finding more?
Found even more.
You may have to just take some of this and squeeze it and eat it yourself. I think that's probably enough honey for these bees, but I can pack it all up and take it home and feed it back to them.
Here we go, check this out.
Wow, look at that. You want to take some of this and eat some of it?
Yeah.
Let me grab a Ziploc bag.
Look at this one.
You got another one? So I'll just get the cleanest. And you could literally wash this off with in the sink with some cool water.
Yeah.
And then basically you'd have the honeycomb. You could crush it and strain it. This was a big colony for sure.
Was it?
Yeah.
Check this out. It's a big one.
Oh my gosh, look at that. It's like digging for gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Liquid gold. They're using that bridge, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so far I've done a lot of teaching, and I've taught at some really big events. The biggest one being Homesteaders of America.
Okay.
And they've got a annual fall event in Front Royal, Virginia. This year they sold 6,000 tickets to it, and I spoke to over 800 people in my tent.
Oh wow.
And I've done that the last 4 years in a row. So it doesn't matter if they're into bees or not. People are fascinated by honeybees, and you know, there's a lot of news out there about saving the honeybees, and so it's kind of one of those things. I love teaching it. I love honey. I love honeybees, and I love teaching about honeybees. Yeah. I think the bridge was the key.
It was the bridge. I feel like it was all in the bridge. So right now what's happening is all the bees They were all sitting here. They're all swarming up and they're making their way inside the bridge. The bridge that I made, just to clarify. So all signs are leading to what Adam thinks is we got a queen in there. We just didn't see it.
That's my guess.
And you're also thinking this hive might have been bigger than we thought it was.
It is a big colony for sure. We got the majority of them. I'm gonna keep, oh, look at that.
Oh, there's a bunch more.
Yeah, they just kind of, that was weird. They all of a sudden they just like filed out of there. They're hiding in a little hole there.
Yeah, a bunch of them. Look at all of them.
Look at that. I said we got the majority of these. They were hiding out in there, weren't they? They're not violent. They've been extremely docile. We've not been assaulted by one honeybee, which has been nice. And this is what I actually find with most of the bees around here, that they're very gentle.
Another reason to move to Center City, Memphis, Tennessee. The bees are so nice. At what point are we done?
There will be a few stragglers, so we'll
Leave no bees behind.
yeah, all bees' lives matter, but at some point there will be a few honeybees that will end up getting left behind, but they'll end up going out into the woods and finding another colony to join.
Is that what we tell the kids? In reality, they're just gonna die.
They'll die right here.
They're gonna die right here, begging for their family to come back.
A lot of times if you've got a little bit of honey on your finger, they'll actually just climb right up on your finger.
Really?
Yeah. If you ever get one in your car or in your house,
Yeah.
and you want to get it out, that's what you do, is just put a little honey on your finger and they'll jump right on there. And...
You keep honey in your car?
No, I don't.
In theory, we could suck them up with a vacuum, right?
You could. They actually make bee vacuums. You want to use a specific vacuum because it could actually hurt them. They're pretty tough. Like if you used just a regular shop vac or something like that, it might hurt them. This isn't the bridge to nowhere. This is the bridge to the colony.
The brand new colony.
I'm very hopeful that they've got a queen in there the way that they're fanning.
You know what? We got every single last bee in that thing. We saved every one of them. 100% savior rate.
Yep.
Not even a single one.
Save the bees.
We did it. We did it. All right, so now what?
It's totally up to you. I don't know if they have a queen or not. So if you want me to leave them here, I can leave them here. We can set them up somewhere. Or I can take them home and keep an eye on them and see what they do and see how they overwinter and just babysit them for you. And if they make it and they have a queen, then we'll figure something out next March.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
In the meantime, we'll talk about hives and swarm traps and figure it out.
Yeah, I got over 100 acres out here. We can maybe do a couple swarm traps.
Yeah. Yeah, what I like to do is I like to just pick out a tree that I think I would like to have bees at the base of that tree. Probably somewhere where I'm gonna be able to see it on a regular basis, but not necessarily around my livestock or my kids or, those types of things. But I'll put the swarm trap up in that tree, trap the bees in next April, May, and then once they're in the trap, I'll bring them down and put them in their forever home at the base of that tree and let the bees be bees at that point.
Cool. Let the bees be bees.
Let them start making me some rent honey.
Yeah.
All right, this is your honey. That's your reward.
Yes.
For bringing down the bee tree.
I did it. Cool.
And then the rest of this we'll figure out what to do with.
All right, guys, I wrapped up the bee video. It was awesome. We got ourselves some bees. I think we have a queen. Super pumped. See you guys next time. Also, check out this video right up here. You might like it.